Greetings humans, I'm Lari and this is my channel, and today I have a simple sketchbook session for you guys. I've been meaning to do this for quite a while, and since I love to design outfits for my OCs and I do it mostly on my sketchbook, I thought it would be nice to make some simple drawings of them wearing some cute maid clothes, so that's what I will be doing today. So as you can see, I am already sketching the first character. There will be 4 in total, so 2 on this page and 2 on the other page. These first ones are my boys, Dante and Olive, and my girls, Coral and Victoria, and on the second page. These 4 are the main characters of one of my OC's universes, or stories. Like I mentioned before, I have 2 stories, and these guys are from my vampire world. I don't really have a name for them yet, for their story yet, but they are from a world I am developing still. I'm still developing all of my stories, but these are a little less set in stone than Luna's story. Luna is what I would consider my main character, and she's from another universe, so her story is a little more set in stone. But well, these guys are from this vampire world, let's say. So Victoria is a vampire, Coral is just a human, Oliver a werewolf, and Dante is a hybrid of human and vampire. That's actually a big part of his story specifically. But I'll talk about their stories in another video maybe. But going back to the drawing, I first designed the outfits based on some Pinterest ones, so I have tiny versions of them on my sketchbook. I like to make tiny versions of the outfits I make to make it easier to think of the designs. So I did this prior and off camera, and I decided to use my simple eye style since my sketchbook's not very big, so the eyes are a simple solid color and no bottom lash lines, because I think this way of drawing eyes is very cute and is definitely easier to make it look good on, because like I said, my sketchbook is a little small, so sometimes it's better to keep things a little less detailed. And when making the poses, I decided to take their personalities somewhat into consideration, like how they would react to being put in a maid outfit. Maybe not 100% since I still wanted it to be mostly just a cute posing, and also because I didn't want to cover the outfits too much, so the poses are a little stiff. I This is kind of a problem because I always love to design clothing and I always like to show them off, but uh, that kind of makes the poses a little not really fun because I don't like to hide. I don't know, I don't like my outfits to be hidden by the poses, so it's always I'm always trying to go for that balance of a nice pose but still one that doesn't cover the outfit. But anyway, so talking back about the personalities, for Dante he's very outgoing and most likely to just go with whatever is happening and have some fun. He's a little less serious, so I made him do a cute little pose. Oliver on the other hand, he's a little more easily flattered and embarrassed. He's not shy by any means, not exactly, but he's a bit more timid for specific things. So he's also a bit more serious, not a big fan of anything too out of the box. He's a little judgmental also. I don't know, I feel like he wouldn't take this very well, so I just made him a little embarrassed, a little shy. Oh, and I also debated a bit about how I was gonna form the duos of each page. So, like, if I should put them in couples or maybe pair them with their besties. So, Dante would be with Coral and Oliver with Victoria, since these are the best friend duos. But I decided to go for the couple route. Not any specific reasons why. I just I just love drawing them with their little partners. So Oliver is with Dante and Victoria is with Coral. So Oliver and Dante are married and Victoria and Coral, I would say they're girlfriends. Well, we'll go with that. Oh, and I decided to keep the full sketching process as a time lapse, but still the whole thing. I was initially planning to color this, but since I decided to just give it some tones at the end with graphite, the sketching will be taking a lot of the time. I was also gonna include more of the line art, but the video was a little too long, even with its own time lapse, so I cut it down some more. Mostly the boys one, since I think I included a little more of their sketching, so I cut a little bit more of their line art. But the girls, I think I kept quite a bit of line art still. Um, but I didn't want this video to be too long, so I cut the line art a bit. But I did keep the hatching I do when I make line art, so since it's the most different part from the sketch, because the line art is basically just tracing over the sketch, so you're not losing too much. And for Victoria and Coral poses, they're both having a little more of a chill time. Coral is very provocative in general. I don't think she's that much into dresses, but it's also not the end of the world, since this side just for fun. I did give her a bit of a longer skirt though, and Victoria is more girly and she has that sexy vampire energy. So I gave her a mini skirt and a cute heart-shaped apron, which I also gave one to Dante since I just love to put him on cute outfits. And I also just love using heart-shaped stuff. But hers is upside down and his is not. I had a bit of a hard time with the sketches because of the angle I was drawing, so their faces were a little wonky and I had to finish it off camera, so sorry about that. But anyway, I think that's all I have to say about the sketching, so I'll come back for the line arts. So I don't have a lot to say about the line art other than I accidentally messed up one of Dante's eyes. I'm so mad about it because I liked it how his face turned out on the sketch. And he's one of my favorite sons. But well, there's nothing I can do about it. It's just a sketchbook's fine. He's still looking cute at the end of it. Moving on, since there's not much to say about the process, I just wanted to talk about my ideas for future videos. I decided I want to post more OC focused content like animation memes and animatics, both for Luna's story and for these guys. But first I still have to flesh out a bit more of Luna's story, and I also was thinking about making a little character archive website, like a place for me to write about my characters so you can learn more easily about their lore and just about them overall. That way it would be nicer to see the animatics and stuff. So I will be working on that, but I also still want to make sketchbook content like the tours and the sections. I also wish I could make a more real-time draw with me, but I'm not sure if that would go well. I don't think my setup is very good for that, but maybe I'll try. If you guys are interested, let me know. Like these real-time sketch sessions. Also, my English is not very good, so we would have to see how that would play out, but I could try. I do know I will for sure be making more sketchbook sessions though. And speaking of sketchbook sessions, I did finish it, the one sketchbook and drawing these specific drawings on. I did finish it quite a while ago, but I took some time to make this video, so I already started my new one actually. I did keep the first page blank so we could draw on this together, and I'm planning to do a little session on the first page and also a sketchbook tour for this one I'm using right now. I do think I want to make the sketchbook session like the first page first prior from making the sketchbook tour, because mostly because I'm excited about making the page, but also just so there's not a big gap between me starting the book and me doing the first page. I am planning to draw Dante for this one. It's gonna be a cute one, just wait. But I will try to make the tour as soon as possible as well. But talking a little bit more about the line art, it's a very straightforward process for me since I make my sketches my sketches are laid out, the lines I will be using, so I just have to follow them and hope I don't mess up like I did on Dante, poor boy. I did decide to keep a bit more about of Coral and Victoria line art like I said, since I think I stopped recording their sketching process a little too early, so I did finish it, a lot of the sketches off camera, because I was having a hard time with the sketches since my desk is not, I don't exactly have a recording setup, not a very good one, so I have to be in a bit of a weird angle for you guys to be able to see what I'm drawing, so their faces were turning out a little weird, like they were not how they were supposed to look, and I was having a hard time making the girls' faces look good. So I basically just recorded the base sketch and I made the details off camera. Also because I think I did it on while I was in school, so I'm sorry about that. But oh yeah, I decided to keep more of the girls line art because of that. But anyway, I'm making the hatching lines now. I just love to use this technique so my line art can pop. I like my lines to be clear and notable. That's also why I stick to black line art on my digital drawings. I just don't like when they get lost and I cannot see clearly what I drew. I know that's kind of a unpopular thing. Majority of, the majority of people, I guess, they prefer to have their line arts to be a little bit more soft. But I like my line art to be a little more prominent. I think line art is a big part of my process, so I like it to be noticeable. And I don't know, I just love how hatching looks. I'm still not very good at it, but I will be just to watch. But I guess there's not much for me to say about this. Like I said before, I was planning to color this, but I I was planning to do it with watercolor, but I gave up on that. Mostly because I was a little lazy and also because I didn't want this video to be too long. Maybe it wasn't a great idea to make 4 characters in 2 pages, but well, you live and learn. I will be using watercolors for my next session though, the first page of my new sketchbook, that is. But well, since I not gonna be coloring this full color, I did bring out my graphite like I said, and I decided to just use it for to give a little bit of tone on the outfits and the characters. And I guess it's fine since the maid outfits are mostly black and white, so I didn't really plan any. I didn't really lost too much colors. So the drawings ended up pretty simple, but I think I did like them overall, ignoring the fact that Dante's are getting on my nerves. But you know what? It's fine. I don't care about it that much actually. I think that's all. I hope you liked this video, and I will most definitely draw more outfits for them and record it for the channel. I love my children, and I can't wait to share more of them with you people. I hope you have a lovely day or night, and I see you soon. Bye bye.